Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Lee, we're here, man.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, man, how you been?
Magnificent.
Good, man. I like the last episode we did, man.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's a lot to soak in.
There's a lot. Might have to
Like the
listen to that
marinade
twice.
on it. Yeah, like the marinade on it.
Yeah.
Especially with like the whole, what's your year gonna look like?
Yeah.
What's your next 2 months gonna look like?
But that ties in what you wanted to say to talk
Yeah,
about
man.
today, really.
Yeah, I was looking. There was this comment or like something was said, it went something like this. I can't remember exactly, but it's like, are you in the business of sprouting or growing?
In the business. That's the word they use?
Yeah,
Business?
it's like, are you in the business of sprouting or growing? And it was more dealing with like, I guess you could call it like from a business aspect or things like that. It's like where.
Yeah. So where do you internalize that as for yourself?
Well, like I remember, like when we first got our house, the yard looked fantastic, dude.
The yard looked fantastic.
Like they had the side. Like one of the guys was talking to me. He's like, "Man, they put a lot of sod on your yard. Like you got a lot of sod because usually they only do like front maybe 10 feet out the back.
Pallets. You're like, man, there's some strips ain't solid, but
so yeah, we got the house, and this was before I put the fence up and everything.
Yeah.
And the backyard they had laid out like I forgot what the kind of grass is called. They laid that out with some hay and stuff, and it was like super green, man.
Just seeded it.
Beautiful. I was like, man, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful.
And then summer hits, and that grass was no longer there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it's not really designed to like stay there for a long period of time. It was just to kind of root it, the soil and stuff for the backyard. The sod was good though.
Yeah.
You just have
so you're going right to that.
But it's like, yeah, it's to me the sprouting. Are you like the initial growing, the sprouting part? To me, it's like I got to thinking about like shallow roots. Like it's not rooted into, like Bermuda. I didn't know this, but I was talking to my sister's or Candace's sister's husband. He's got a beautiful yard, and he does everything himself.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. And he was telling me about Bermuda, and I didn't know anything. I was like, but he said, once it gets thick enough, you can keep it. Once you keep it thick, it chokes out.
Oh yeah.
The weeds. Like you don't have weeds as long as you keep it.
Yeah.
Upkeep it.
Just gotta keep it.
And that's what I got to think about. I was like, are you in the business of like sprouting or growing?
Yeah.
It's
so funny because we have Bermuda.
Yeah.
And we saw it. But the point is, the only thing I'm making is because people have the companies come around and spray the chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you know me, I'm not the chemical guy, but
yeah.
They're spraying herbicide, fungicide, pesticide, killing the weeds. They're doing the yard treatment.
Yeah.
And if I were to say, and I might be biased because it's my yard,
right?
But I don't do that. I don't do any of that.
Right.
And I cut it a certain way, do certain energy with it. And it might be at the beginning of the season, it might be some dandelion, whatever.
Yeah, you got to get rid. Yeah, you got to tend to
But
it.
I promise you, as the season progresses, no chemicals on mine.
Yeah.
My yard's competing with all the yards in the neighborhood that do chemicals. But only reason I'm saying is not like, oh, look at the. It's just to anchor and solidify what you said
Right.
of what the Bermuda will do when it grows, of choking out
Yeah.
the other things.
Yeah, and it's like there may be a little extra to it to get it to do that, but it does it.
Yeah. So the thought process, honestly, the way this podcast goes is you think we're talking about grass, but where in your life is there certain things that you're just throwing hay and it's just sprouting, but it's not gonna last?
Right. Yeah.
Or where is it that you're maybe in this instance paying a little more, getting the extra pallet aside,
Right.
so you don't have to have the.
Mm-hmm.
So something actually grows and takes root and has deeper, stronger roots. But what is that in your life?
Right.
What is the deeper, stronger roots in your business?
Yeah.
What is the deeper, stronger roots in your marriage? What is the deeper, stronger roots with your money?
Right. Like that's that's how I took it, because it's like
are you doing like I remember when we were in kindergarten, you get the lima bean, you put it in the cup,
and
you put it in the soil, and then you just waited for it to sprout.
it's like, oh, it sprouted. Oh, I'm good. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
whatever
no.
happened to. So that's like we can see what the teacher and what the curriculum was endeavoring to teach us, of like put something in the soil. So I don't want to take away from that. You have to put something in the soil. But then for the sake of the class and how many kids actually cultivated that to the next level, to say, okay, now that sprouted, how many people end up having lima beans?
Right.
That actually made it to the table. And I think that's what we're talking about, is the growth part of it, to say huge. At what point does whatever you're endeavoring to give your energy to, that you're disciplining yourself behind, what point does it grow to the level that it deserves?
Right.
Or do you just stun it like, oh, it sprouted and that's all I was looking for. I was just waiting for it to sprout. And it's like, it's so much more. God with seed is so much more abundant.
Yeah.
And he's given you, and you have the capability, and you're not going to grow it. I think I sent out a daily text to the community recently, said, you're going to be guilty of all the good that you didn't do.
Yeah.
If that doesn't fit with growing into the person that he created you to be, I don't know what is.
Yeah, right. So,
man, yeah, this
it's a big one, man. It's like, man. Even with like the last episode, we went through the 8 M's and how like, what does it look like for you? Even with that stuff, you could accomplish those things that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guarantee you're going to, if it's really truly like something you really are passionate about, you're taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Each and every time. And that's where, are you business and sprouting or growing? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And now, so I know we have some gardeners on here, or we have some farmers or horticulturalists, so it's like, well, you can't grow unless you sprout, Lee.
What? True.
So I'm true. We're aware of this.
Yes.
So I'm not even coming from the end. I'm not going to be naive to the fact that in order to grow, there is a sprout process.
Yeah. You're going to have to go through that.
So if you want to, we play on words with the rest of this episode to say like, okay, what does sprouting in your meditation look like? What does growing in your meditation look like? There's a difference.
See, that's a good way to look at it.
What is your mindset? How does it sprout?
Yeah.
How does it grow?
I mean, that's it.
Like, okay, how do you sprout in your movement? How do you grow?
That's huge, man.
In your movement. So how do you sprout with your meals? How do you grow in your meals?
Man, that's like that takes me back to like, when you work out. I don't know if because you're doing a lot more movement now, right?
Doing everything.
So
all cylinders, pal.
You get to a point where you start to plateau, right? Like you'll get to this point where it's like, man, it's not getting up. So it's like, where's the sprout part?
Where's the sprout?
To where you can't grow. Like you got it. Yeah. And I see how that could work.
Yeah.
Where you find the sprout and you grow it even more and you can cultivate and everything. That's huge, man.
I mean, let's not for the sake of it. Your mentors. How do you sprout a mentorship?
Yeah.
How do you grow? Like, do you ever grow into the mentor?
Yeah.
Like, you've been mentored. Do you become the mentor?
Right.
That's one of my. I am the mentor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It's one thing to be mentor. At what point are you going to become the mentor and you mentor someone else?
Right.
There's a cycle to this.
Mm-hmm.
You sprouting in your meetups. When do your meetups grow? When does your network grow?
Right.
So then it's like, oh, my message has sprouted. I finally taken heed to like mediocre to magnificent. I'm sprouting magnificence. Now I'm growing in my magnificence.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different
deal. It really is. You got to look at it a different way.
So what are you gonna grow in?
Yeah.
What are you saying you're growing in, man? What are you wanting to grow in?
I mean, for me, it would be what God's called me to do. Like the whole last episode talking about your message.
You said what God? You emphatically know what He's called you to do?
Well, I don't. That's the thing. Like the sprouting
do you have an idea?
I feel like I'm in the sprouting part of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's because there's certain things that are changing this year, like that taking a bigger role for myself.
Taking a bigger role.
And it's like, okay, like how is God moving in this?
So what do you think? So if you're in the sprouting stage, like how does it take hold to like it's growing now? What do you think has to transpire for you?
It's the prepping for me. Like when you need something to sprout, you obviously got to water it, you got to feed it, you got to do all those things. So that's the part. That's
so can you want to give a specific, or you want to stay away from the specific?
I think it would be like, say with more of a leadership role. It's being able to cultivate a network or a team building aspect to it. It's not like take it on your own. Because I feel like in the past that's what I would do.
Oh, you just take it on.
I would just do it, but it wouldn't be like a team building thing. Where it's like, no, you don't need to do everything.
You don't need to do everything.
You just need to see what the big picture is.
Sprouters do everything.
Get the big picture and then have people fill in those areas.
Growers.
To grow it. Because there's especially with work, we got a big change coming that's like completely changing the way we do things. And it takes a team. It's going to take a team. Wow. It doesn't take one department.
You're the leader of it.
I'm not. Well, I'm a part of the team. I don't like calling myself a leader of it.
Oh, but are you the?
But yeah, like taking
the
lead on understanding what's needed to make sure things happen in a certain time frame. So it's like understanding that, but also the same aspect of it is not just taking it from work, but from family, from friends, friendships, my meals, my meetups, all that kind of stuff. It's like taking that role.
Isn't the A so wonderful?
It is, man.
Like when you really think,
it's a foundation.
Because you really you're like, man, they're talking about that again. Like
you have to.
When are you gonna realize?
Like
you need to have this involved. You need to figure this out. You need to know what sprouting looks like, and you need to know what growing looks like. Is it time to sprout? Or is it time to grow?
And for me, it's taking that. It's like one of the podcast episode we had where you kind of got to zoom out of it.
Yeah. But even if
the big picture,
you said it with the yard.
Yeah.
So people, I spoke to the horticulturalists on the line, watching, listening. But you said it.
Yeah.
I said it, but I'm gonna say it another way. So there's a time for sprouting. I'm not gonna take away from it. And there's a time to grow.
There is.
But what you said with the yard is it sprouted and then it wasn't anymore.
Right.
So if you don't take heed to that, to say, okay, you're in your sprouting stage, and you have to be aware of the sprouting stage to be able to make choices to grow. If not, you're not gonna be there.
Yeah. You're not gonna grow.
But we're saying not gonna be there as far as in the grass example.
Right.
You're still gonna be there. But if you say, hey, I'm starting my business and it's sprouting.
Yeah.
Or I'm deciding to take on entrepreneurship. And it's been new to me. Like when I first got exposed to it, I was sold out to it. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a learning curve and it wasn't new to be like, oh, this is real?
Right.
Like I can have my own business. I can do I don't have to trade time for money. Like this is real?
Yeah.
So that sprouted some things in me, some learnings that needed to take place. But at some point, if it wanted to grow, there's something had to happen, or it's obsolete. It's like, oh, what happened to the business? Well, it only sprouted.
It only sprouted.
So, just like with the mindset, there's sometimes I've coached people, and I've made disclaimers to them, and I point blank said, I'm going to expose you to a few things, but I want you to know that once I expose you to this, now that's the level of accountability you're going to be held to, because you know it now.
Yeah.
You know now. Whether it be within the word, whether it be within business, entrepreneurship, mindset, within your language, whatever you want to say, it's like, no. You know. You've been exposed. Are you sure you want me to? Because now it's going to be on you. We're just in the sprout phase.
Yeah.
Once I tell you this, it's going to be like, okay, now I've got to hunker down.
Right.
And have these roots take hold and grow something.
Yeah. And that's the big transition.
And what's that look like? It's transition. Like, man, can we please get you over the sprout stage into the growth stage? Like, because it's even if you want to say in your faith.
Yeah.
Even if you want to say in your faith, you're like, man, when I had first accepted Christ, man, I was on fire. I was sold out. Like, that's sprout.
Right.
If you, for this analogy, for this. And it's like, then you're reading the word, and then you're like, oh man, I gotta fix this. I gotta do this. You're like, okay, well, I'm not feeling the spirit like I did when
you were in the sprout phase.
You're a sprout, man. We're growing now.
Yeah. You gotta grow.
Like the roots are what the roots are, man. You gotta do something.
Right.
You gotta grow. Doesn't change. Man. You have to grow.
You have to grow. You gotta grow. It does. Yeah.
So yeah, man.
That's
but yeah,
crazy,
so you said, okay, yeah, I like what you said.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask, because people sometimes be like, Lee, you asked him, but no, he didn't ask you. But I already said it.
Yeah, you already did.
I want to grow on all cylinders, man.
All cylinders.
Man, there's some things I'm working on.
All cylinders.
So I don't want to say some certain stuff because it's like, oh yeah, so it's like gonna be a surprise.
Right.
I'm growing, man.
You got to grow, man.
Green and growing.
There's a time for sprouting, but there's a bigger time for
now.
growing.
Do you think? But see, so they say this because you said, oh yeah, when they threw that seed, I put that hay. Do you think it was anything on your part of not watering it and re-haying it or reseeding it or anything? I just want to see, like, for the people, is there a process?
There is more because because
if you think throwing seed out and putting Bermuda and you don't have to, there's something else that has to be done.
No,
it's just gonna.
Because it was the grass was different. The grass was different.
Yeah,
where they had put that to make it green. The Bermuda side, they will tell you, if you get somebody to put sod out on your yard or you do it yourself, you have to water the crap out of that stuff.
Yeah, you gotta have
like you constant. You cannot let it. You cannot let it just sit there and let it.
There's a whole time and whole process to it. But that's the only thing I was saying. So because I've been saying this a lot, maybe with clients, maybe I've said on the podcast. It doesn't matter. I'm saying it now. The energy is going to be transferred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're like, Lee, tell me what the energy is now. So say what I did, you saw how big the yard is.
Yeah, it's huge.
You know already 100% firsthand that the amount of sod that comes with that house when I bought it.
Yeah.
Because I bought it under construction, brand new. Like they didn't go all the way.
Oh, it amazes me how much Bermuda can grow out.
So all I'm saying is, so the 3 levels to this. So when I bought the house, I had to pay for extra pallets I was like, there's no way you're going to do this little strip. And then I have this whole other.
Right.
Hay and whatever you said. Yeah. That. However many pallets it takes.
Yeah.
Add it to and we're getting sawed all the way.
Yeah.
So then you have that. Then you have the energy of like, okay, well in the backyard, we'll just do the. You can say the same way I said, I'm gonna add to the.
Yeah.
Then you can say, no, I have to seed, I have to water, I have to I have to re-hay.
Mm-hmm.
It's still energy.
It's still energy. You're still transferring it.
So
transfer energy, man.
Where do you want to have the transfer made?
Yeah.
You have to choose.
Right.
If you want to be like your brother-in-law, I don't know what you call him. That's his brother-in-law, right? He's like, man, I'm totally doing it. I got the full hookup.
Yeah.
I'm a lawn technician. Wonderful.
Right. Yeah.
The energy's being transferred.
It's transfer energy.
So where are you going to transfer your energy in the sprout growth process?
Mm-hmm.
Because either way, it's going to be transferred.
Right.
And it has to take root.
Has to.
Or what was the point of you even starting? What was the point of you even thinking about it?
Ooh.
What was the point of God giving it to you?
Yeah.
If you weren't going to grow it. If he gave me this brilliant thing, mediocre, magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
LAW, living according to the word. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to grow that. I'm not going to grow that, Lord.
Oh man.
Appreciate the idea, appreciate the thought. Thanks for considering it. But now I'm saying something else. What the other thing that I'm saying is, if it needs to happen, we're dealing with the creator of the whole deal.
It's gonna happen.
You better play your role, because he'd just be like, oh, well, you're done. I'm picking somebody else.
Right.
So then when I ask you, like, hey, what's your thing? What's your purpose? Where you at in that?
Mm-hmm.
Don't play with, okay, well, you were supposed to play this role, this circumstance, this is what I gave you. And now you're obsolete. Mm-hmm. Someone else is going to fill that role because they want to help.
Right.
Grow.
Yeah.
The kingdom.
Right.
Or have the ripple effect that he needs, that he wants.
Yeah.
But we know either way it's going to happen. So that's so funny, man. Yeah.
I like that, man.
You like it?
Sprouting and growing.
There's a store called Sprouts, man.
I've been there.
Yeah, I have too.
It's nice.
What if we start one called Grown?
Oh.
Going to Sprouts? Or are you going to come to? Now we have a new competitor, Grown.
Sprouts and Grow.
Somebody might start it now, just off that. They're like, oh yeah, we're starting one, man. We're competing.
That's man, I love it.
That's just for fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man.
Loved it, man.
Just
knocked it out of the park, but
just keep growing, man.
You have to. Man.
Keep honoring your message. Keep manifesting growth in the areas that are important to you. We know the ones that are important to us.
Yep.
Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. but most of all, sharing. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.